Hey there, and welcome back to Cisco Reads Books, where we're doing a book review today. So I just recently finished the book Americana by Dellilo that I've been talking about most of this week that I've been nearing the end of it, and I have some things to say. Americana is fantastic. Hands down, great book. Does it stand up to White Noise? Maybe, maybe not. It was Don DeLillo's first book. You can definitely see in the 10 years that has elapsed um, between Americana and White Noise, because this was copyrighted in 1971 and White Noise was in 1984. So you can definitely feel, the more than decade that has taken place between the two books and his writing style. Um, However, that does not take away from his ability to write a story. Um, this book is about a guy named David Bell. He's a TV executive, and basically, according to the back, at 28, David Bell is the American dream come true. He has fought his way to the top, surviving office purges and scandals to become a high-powered television executive. Dave's world is made up of the images that flicker across America's screens, the fantasies that enthrall America's imagination. And then the dream and the dream making become a nightmare. At the height of his success, David sets out to rediscover reality. Camera in hand, he journeys across the country in a mad attempt in a mad and moving attempt to capture a sense of his own and his country's past, present, and future. Um, so, we meet David at the height of his success when he's working at the television studio. The office politics are definitely a thing there, and there's a lot of social commentary about, corporate jobs and such. And by the time he sets out to go and film something for the network, that he then realizes that this is not really what he wants to do, so he's going to make his own kind of documentary film. And just as in every other, or at least in as it was in White Noise, the layering of theme and the topics that this covers is just absolutely insane. Um, this book touches on like post-traumatic stress from World War II and other wars, and just the constant fighting that America's been doing for a while. Um, there's a war that's happening in this book at the time that David is working in television, and there's a lot of commentary on how they're reporting the war and what will be said and this and that kind of other thing. There's also a lot of like sexual overtones where it's talking about kind of the promiscuity of like American society nowadays, and how it was kind of going downhill from the moral values that I guess like the country was founded on, um, and just the relevance of extramarital affairs and stuff like that in American society, um, and just it's such a good book. I mean, it was another one where like I put it down and I was like, wow, like I had to I had to walk around for a little bit and just kind of ruminate on like what I had just read. Um, like particularly like there's four parts to this book. The first part is basically him as the TV executive. The middle two parts are him doing his own thing, and then the last part is kind of like a summary of David kind of writing to you in like a prose style rather than like traditional first person. And it it just hit on all cylinders. There's definitely some like big moments in this book where um, it could touch the heartstrings a little bit. And uh yeah, I mean it was a fantastic book. I absolutely recommend Americana. Um at some point, I don't know if this is the best place to start with Delillo. Just because it is a little bit more dense, a little bit more verbose, than like White Noise was. Um, but like so coming from just having read the two of them so far, I would probably start with White Noise first. I think that's a little bit easier to get into, and it has a little bit of like the science fiction overtones kind of help it out a little bit. Um, but I mean, it's up to you in the end. I mean, Americana is not a bad book if you're into like literary fiction. It would definitely be up your alley and something that you could get with. However, like, if you're looking for something that is a little bit more literary fiction with a genre bend to it, I would go White Noise just because that's like a disaster kind of not post-apocalyptic, but almost like an apocalyptic novel. Um, so like I would go with that one over Americana as a starting point, but Americana is good. I mean, if you can get through if you can get through it, then do it. I mean, it's a great book. Don DeLillo is fast becoming one of my favorite authors. I cannot wait for May. I'm reading End Zone, which is the kind of the book that he basically is using American football as a metaphor for nuclear war. So yeah, like I'm excited for that because like who wouldn't want to see that executed where it's like, all right, how are you going to use football as a metaphor for nuclear war? Like I'm already interested just on the premise of that kind of thought experiment. And just with his track record now of having two books that are completely different from one another and just completely blow me away, um, is fantastic. And I mean these Penguin editions are really nice, because Penguin does good work and they all kind of match the spines, kind of match and everything. So like this is a good set and like the cover design, kind of speaks to the you spend most of this book in the Midwest after he leaves the TV studio in New York. So like this kind of rustic country cover, where they're basically in like a diner or like a hotel room, like it fits the story once you get into it. Um but yeah, highly recommend this. I gave this a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads, which like I don't even know if like Goodreads ratings really mean anything nowadays. But I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars because yeah, there's not many books that kind of blow me away like White Noise and Americana, Brave New World. Like there's not many of those out there that I'm just like handing out 5 stars willy-nilly. So um yeah, good job, Don DeLillo. You're the shit. Um, so yeah, that was the review for Don DeLillo's Americana, and I hope you enjoy that. If you do enjoy what I'm doing here, please like and subscribe. That helps out a lot because the more people that can see this, maybe there's more people out there that we can get to read Don DeLillo, more people to read Dale Brown. Let's get these people the acclaim that they deserve. So yeah, I'll catch you next time. Until then.